What's up, everybody? It's D to the J with a roll away. It is Monday, September 19th, and the time is 2:59 and 38 seconds. So we're trying to get for 3 o'clock. I wanted to come up and do this. A friend asked me to do it a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to, get my thoughts together before I came up here and decided to talk about it. Um, he wanted My friend Tony wanted me to do a show on gun safety and on self defense in general with disabilities. His big question was, I'm in a wheelchair. Should I carry a gun? Is it a good idea? That type of thing. All right, here's my thing. I'm going to spend some time talking about the pros and cons of guns and things like that. I'm very much for gun safety. I've been a martial artist since I started martial arts back in 2010. I've been training since 2010 up to this current point. I'm currently a black belt. I trained at Tiger Martial Arts for over 12 years, and I'm doing independent training right now. I teach, have been teaching now for about 2 years. And here's my thoughts on guns. I think that number one, you want to avoid gun use as much as possible. My first thing is don't pull it unless you intend to use it. People think guns give them power. And again, this is my opinion. Some people are going to agree with it, some people are not. I believe in the right to carry. I believe that you should follow the rules and the state guidelines according to those states and what you should do. I believe there should be background checks on people that carry guns, disability or not. I believe that everybody should know about gun safety because gun safety can save your life and it can save somebody else's. Now I can know, all the martial arts in the world, and that basically is not going to stop a bullet. Somebody wants to pull a gun on me and shoot, that's what they're going to do. Do I choose to carry a gun? At this time in my life, no. And I'll be honest, the reason for that is there's several reasons. There's a partial fear there. I don't like guns. But I don't. That doesn't mean that I won't carry one at a later time. If I choose to carry one, I know the style of gun that I would carry. I know about the style of gun that I would carry, and I also know the safety of that style gun that I would carry. All right. So let me answer the question this way: Should people with disabilities carry a gun? It honestly depends on the person. Okay, if you are thinking that a gun is going to get you out of a dangerous situation, you're just going to pull it and use it. No, don't carry a gun for that. This world is crazy enough already. As I said, gun safety and knowing about firearms is some of the best education you can do. You can research the internet, you can look up on YouTube, you can find out as much information as you want to find out. But until you come face to face with that firearm, until you hold it in your hand, until you have an instructor to go through each and every piece of that gun with you to know what it's about and know what it can do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, people say guns kill people. No, people pull the trigger and people kill people. I'm going to tell you right now, the only person that's going to kill somebody is the person that pulls that trigger. And that is something that an individual has to live with, whether they have a disability or not. Okay? You have to understand, and you have to understand once that gun is pulled and the gun is brought into the situation, everything is amped up. Emotions are amped up, thoughts are amped up, anger's amped up. Everything that happens is right there. And the moment changes. When a gun is pulled, when a weapon is pulled, when a knife is pulled, when a confrontational situation is brought upon and a gun is entered into it, a lot of times there's no turning back, because when a gun is pulled 9 times out of 10, somebody is going to pull it and shoot. Okay? If you're trying to pull a gun to front on somebody, you have a gun for the wrong reason. I am not going to pull a gun unless I intend to use it. Again, that's my opinion. That's the way I am. If people don't like it, that's okay. They don't have to agree with me. I've been in a wheelchair my whole life. I've had cerebral palsy since I was born. I'm 40 years old. I have learned a lot about confrontation. You can get out of a confrontation just by shutting this and listening, and you can also get out of a confrontation by using your words and rolling away or getting away from the situation before a gun is ever pulled. Now, I'm not saying guns aren't needed. Don't get me wrong. Okay? If I chose to carry, okay, and when I choose to carry, I know the style of gun I want. I know the type of gun I want. I know the power of the gun I want. I know the rounds the gun holds. I know how to use it because I've been taught by an instructor and by a person that knows gun safety. But am I using a gun right now? No, because to tell you the truth, I don't want that responsibility. And I say this with the utmost respect. When you pull a gun on somebody for a situation, whether however intense that situation is, it becomes more than just that person involved. You hold that person's life in your hands. And a lot of people don't realize, oh, I'm going to pull a gun, that's going to make it easier. No. To me, that makes it a lot harder, because the only time I'm going to pull a gun is if somebody is trying to break into my house and hurt me, or if I'm out on the street and my martial arts can't get me out of it. Now, like I said, I can know all the martial arts in the world, and all the martial arts in the world's not going to stop a bullet. Are there alternatives to guns? Yes, there are. There are tasers. There are projectile tasers. There are flashbang grenades. There are defensive sirens. There is mace. There is tons of apparatuses that you have that are dangerous but not lethal. A gun in the hands of the wrong person is lethal. Let me say that again. A gun in the hands of the wrong person is lethal. People think that because they carry, nobody's going to mess with them. Sometimes because you carry, and if that gun is not concealed and you don't carry a permit for it, that can draw out a situation. Sometimes a gun on your hip causes curiosity. What kind of gun are you carrying? What kind of ammo are you carrying? What kind of and asking questions about a firearm is not a problem. But there's a proper way you can do it, because you can irritate the hell out of a person doing that crap. Especially walking up trying to see what they got. Because most of the time, a lot of people are going to conceal. And you do have to have a concealed carry permit to be able to have your gun hidden on you and on your person. Okay? I don't care if you have a disability or not. When you have a gun in your possession, it is your responsibility to use that gun properly. That means use it, pull it, fire it, safety on, safety off. All that is your responsibility. That's a responsibility I don't want. Because if I have to take someone's life with a gun and they're trying to hurt me, that is the only time that I'm going to pull. Okay? But 9 times out of 10, you can get out of a one-on-one situation by walking away and by saying nothing. Okay? Let them talk. They want to try to take what you got. Nothing is worth your life. Again, this is my opinion. Nothing is worth your own life. Nothing is worth my life. My possessions are not worth my life. If somebody tries to prevent me from going home and take what I got in life expectancy, you understand what I'm saying? That's the point I want to make. That's when a gun needs to be entered. And even then, this is very, very, very tricky in this world. Self-defense. If someone is trying to hurt you and you cannot get out of it by walking away, rolling away, blocking them, getting away from them, yelling, screaming, whatever you got to do to get somebody's attention, and you pull that gun and you pull that trigger, you have to make sure that in a court of law, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, they say, oh, it was self-defense. He was trying to kill me. You have to get a judge to believe that crap. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying you weren't abused or accused or made in an uncomfortable situation. But when a trigger is pulled and someone is shot, if they die, the person that pulled that gun, it's on them. And once someone's gone, you can't take it back. And you know, I look at gun safety as the most important piece of information, and I really think people should talk about the importance of what happens here when that trigger's pulled. Not just the bullet in the chamber, the bullet leaving the chamber, going through the gun, going through the air, going to the person, exploding whatever it hits, and damaging them for the rest of their life. But what happens right here? Does it get easier or does it get harder? You kill one person, I did it once, I can do it again. What do you think about? What do you carry then once that person is gone? Oh, he tried to hurt me. I was doing what I needed. It was self-defense. Was it? Could you have truly gotten out of it without using a gun? Another thing I've heard, I'm a woman, I should have to carry a gun. In this world, a woman needs to carry a gun. That's a yes and no question. Again, if you are safety first and know about the gun safety and know about what you're doing and are not just trying to pull it to kill people and gain power and be above everybody else, you can carry. Just because you can carry doesn't mean you should. There are people in this world that I don't believe should go near a gun because they want the access to pull the trigger. Now, I've never, ever, ever done a show on this, never done a thought on this, never done a talk on this from right, left, up, down. This is very, very, very personal to me. When it comes to something that can take a life, it should be used with extreme caution. And I say that with the utmost respect. And there are tons of people in this world that carry. Some have more guns than they need. Some have sidearms. Some have M16. Some have AK-47. Some have all these guns and all this ammo, enough to start World War III. And they say, ain't nobody taking what I got. Ain't nobody breaking in my house. Why in the world do you need all those guns? I'm a collector. Okay, that's different. That's fine. You want to collect them? That's fine. That's your decision. I don't want anybody to come up here and me saying, you know, DJ doesn't think guns or people should use guns. I think people should use guns and carry guns responsibly. Whether you have a disability or not, whether you're blind, deaf, no legs, one arm, I don't care what's wrong with you, whether you wear glasses, whatever it is, I believe that guns and safety go hand in hand. I don't fear a lot of things, and I'll say this, and I'm trying to be as respectable as I can when it comes to this. Fear keeps you on your toes, and I don't want, if I decide to carry at any time, which I can, if I decide to, I'm over 18. I'm gonna if I decide to carry, I'm gonna get the permit. I'm gonna take all the safety classes, whatever it is. But once that happens, there's a different responsibility added to you as an individual. I would look at it as that gun not being there, because I don't want the gun on my side to be seen, to be looked at, to be questioned, because then the whole conversation changes. I got my piece. I ain't worried. Ain't nobody going to take advantage of me. Here's the thing. You got two people that carry guns, both with the intention to shoot. If they draw faster than you, you're dead. Okay? You draw and that gun doesn't go off and it jams, you're dead. And that's the power of this that I don't want to come across as, that's why I say you have to be very, very careful with guns themselves. And the decision to pull that trigger is not just, I don't want to pull the trigger. I don't want to take somebody else's life. I don't want that on my conscience. You can call me what you want, call me all the names that you want, say what you want to say, do what you want to do. I don't want to take a life unless it's the absolute last resort and I don't have a choice. I spoke with Jack Dart about this on gun safety, and I will tell you that's one of the most intelligent men on this planet when it comes to gun safety, when it comes to what guns are about, when it comes to why to have it, why not to have it. There is a huge responsibility to us as people in owning guns, in gun safety, and the proper use of guns. I'm going to say this one time, and there is no swaying me on this. If a gun owner is in the house and a gun is in the house where children are, it should be locked up. Safety should be on. I'm not saying the gun can't be loaded, but the child should be made aware not to touch it. It's not to play with, because there are so many accidental deaths due to not enough about gun safety with children. Okay? And I'm not just talking 2 and 3 year olds. I'm talking 10, 15, 18. They just don't know. Oh man, check this out. My dad got this piece and bam. That's it. Accidents occur in the home. People get their hands blown off, feet blown off, holes in their chest. There should be more than adequate gun safety in a household where children are present. I don't care if you're a police officer. I don't care if you're a homeowner. I don't care what. I don't care if you work for the FBI and you own every gun in the world. There should be some form of gun safety in your home if children are present. Even not, there should be some form of gun safety in your home. I don't mind collectors, but I hate that they show them off in the living room on gun racks, because they're there. And then there's nothing wrong. I'm going to say this too. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. But when it becomes persistent, can I hold it? Can I touch it? Ask the question why. Okay? Does the person want to get familiar with it? Does the person want to know about it? Does the person want to learn the safety of it? What do they really want to do? What is it really about? The phrase I hear a lot is, that's like taking a knife to a gunfight. I know people that refuse to carry guns because of accidents that they have caused in their home. I know people that have seen gun abuse through a husband and wife. I know people that have went through, traumatic experiences with guns. One of the first things that I wanted to do as a martial artist in Tiger Martial Arts is have a gun safety course, because so many people carry. And yes, it's, you've got to go through hoops to get a gun, and you should. You should. To get a gun legally. Okay? But it's far too easy to get a gun illegally, and that's what bothers me. Because everybody wants to carry. Everybody wants to be cool. Everybody wants to be swag. Everybody wants to have that piece so they can protect themselves. Let me tell you this. Having a gun does not make you cool. Having a gun, hey Cindy, does not make you smart. The proper use of that gun and what you do with that gun when you carry yourself as an individual is what makes you smart. That is the point that I want to get across right now. For anybody that chooses to carry a gun in their life, I don't care what type, I don't care who you are, I don't care what city or country you're from, what you do with that gun and its safety is what makes you cool or not. To be a person that uses a gun wisely and teaches about gun safety wisely is the person that I want to be around. I don't want a person with a 9mm on this side going, check me out, man. I'm going down the alley. Ain't nobody going to cap me. When you think you can't lose it, that's when you lose it. And that's what scares me in this world. I don't care if you're black, white, Mexican, Hindu, Puerto Rican. I don't care what race you are. Ain't nobody going to kill me. I'm invincible. No. Stop that shit right there. I got my peace. I'm going to protect myself. You can protect yourself without a piece. And you can protect yourself with one. The importance that I'm trying to do on this, and for the people that watch this live, and for the people that watch the replay, be sensible about the decisions you make. Because you can do damage with a rolled up magazine if you know what to do. Okay. Let me clarify this too. What is self-defense? All right. Self-defense is when somebody comes up to you, you ask them to leave you alone, they're in your personal space, and they try to cause you physical harm. Okay. And you are trying to prevent them from doing so. Okay. There are so many things that you can use for self-defense that you don't even think about lying around the house. One of the best self-defense weapons you can ever have. A lot of people don't think about it. People want to understand, why have something for self-defense? Self-defense. Doesn't take much. Knockout shot. Knockout shot. Knockout shot. Again, I don't have a gun in my hand. It's a marker. Okay? People look for reasons to want to fight. As I said, you can do as much damage with a rolled up magazine, knowing what to do and how to do it in a situation of self-defense. Now that's training. Okay. Again, I've been training for over 12 years, almost 15 years now. And there's a lot of things that I know that I didn't know before. And should I or should I not carry a gun? Okay. When you are afraid of something, you want to learn about it all that you can before you touch it to where you feel comfortable around guns. I don't know if I'll get to that point. And that's a decision that I have to make. And that's okay. Because I'm not looking to impress anybody whether I have a gun or not. That is not the point of having a gun. And again, I said this at the beginning. People say guns kill people. No, people do. Because it takes someone to operate that gun and pull the trigger. And that has the power to give a life or take it. Now you think about it. You got somebody saying, give me your money or you die. Okay, here. Give me your wallet or you're dead. Okay, here. Nothing I have is worth my life. I said that before. Nothing I have is worth my life because my life is important. Now, you try to hurt me and who I'm with, that's a different story. Okay? I'm going to do what I have to do to defend myself, but I'm going to defend myself in the right way. When a gun is brought into the situation, it's a whole nother story. Because the situation instantly changes. Because there's an object that can cause death if the person pulls the trigger. And why? Because the person that's dead or the person that's shot and killed doesn't have an opportunity to tell their side of the story. So when you pull a gun and you shoot, think about what you're doing. Because it's important that you're safe. But did that person really need to be shot? Was it that bad? And I'm not saying it wasn't. Don't get me wrong. See, this is the thing. These are the things that I think about when it comes to a gun. Take the 15 years of studying martial arts out of it. Don't not let me go home. Okay? Couple of things I want to point out, couple of quick tips for self-defense. Females and males alike. Don't think you're bigger and better than you are. It never hurts to go out with somebody instead of by yourself. Always let somebody know where you're going. Okay? Give them a time limit. If you don't hear from me in 30 minutes, give me a call. Text me, see where I'm at. Okay? Have your phone on talking to the person when you leave. Okay? A lot of people don't think about a conversation that another person hears as a witness if something happened. Okay? There are other things that you can use in self-defense instead of guns. Tasers, nightstick, bow staff, kendo stick, commas, nunchucks, with proper supervision. Kali, okay, the art of Kali. And again, in teaching martial arts is also teaching responsibility. Because I can know all the martial arts in the world and a bullet ain't going to save me. Or I'm not going to stop a bullet. Knowing your surroundings, knowing the time that you go out. Where are you? Knowing what's around you. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. I mentioned a little bit of this earlier, and I'm gonna go ahead and close with this. Is, should a female carry a gun? It depends on the person. I believe that a person should be very level-headed when carrying and when using a gun. Okay, and that's because one of the most level-headed things you can do is not put yourself in a bad situation by going by yourself, or not having somebody with you, or not having somebody know where you are, or not go where there's a well-lit area. Don't go in dark areas by yourself, because you never know. People in this world will try stupid stuff just because they can get away with it and make you a target. In my opinion, having a gun and not knowing how to use it and not knowing what to do and when to do it puts a bigger target on your back. Because you pull it, you think you're something that you're not. Because it takes 12.5 pounds of pressure to pull a trigger. A lot of people don't think about that. On certain guns, 12.5. On certain guns, 7.5. Okay? One of my best friends that I know carries because he has children. But I guarantee you, and as I said this earlier, they know about gun safety. And he has taught them about gun safety because of the importance of what and who they are. And he doesn't want them hurt. He has also taught me about gun safety and why. That's the last question I want to leave you with. There's always a why in every situation. A bullet can stop a lot of things. But just remember, it can also stop you. I'm not saying people shouldn't carry guns. By no way, shape, or form. I'm saying be educated about what you do, be educated about who you are, be educated about what you want to accomplish, and talk to people about it. The proper people. Policemen, educators of gun safety, certified teachers that know how to teach you, not your friend on the street. Okay? I'm not going to go to somebody that does not know what they're doing. Several of my friends have concealed carry. Several of my friends do carry. They never pressure me. They never say you should or you shouldn't. But if I have a question, they can't answer it. And I do know police officers that can't answer a question. Hey, Ree, how are you? And I want to say this before I leave. Think about what you do before you do it when it comes to guns, because safety is most important. We already carry disability. We already carry our own disabilities. I don't want to carry having a person's life on my conscience too. Now, as I said, I'm not saying you should or you should not carry a gun. That is your decision. But if you do, But if you do, be sure that you take the proper classes on gun safety. Be sure that you research it. Be sure that you know everything about it. And be sure that you know the consequences of what happens if you pull that trigger for the wrong reason. Because when that happens and it hits somebody else, you can't take it back. You can't fix it. And most of the time, you can't get out of it. This can solve a lot of problems before that can. So I want to make sure that you know I won't carry unless I am completely satisfied with the information that I have. And I know exactly what I need to know when I need to know it for the situation that I am. And safety isn't just about guns. I've covered this in the other part of the video that I was talking about. Safety for yourself. Female, male, mom, dad, brother, sister, I don't care what you are. Have somebody know where you're going. Go with somebody. Don't go by yourself. Don't go in an unlit area unless you absolutely have to. Have your phone on. Make sure somebody's with you. Have a flashlight, and you better have the cops on speed dial. Because I tell you now, you think you're tough and you think you're better than everybody else and you're a badass and can do anything you want. You go into life like that and see how quick you get dropped. My disability has nothing to do with this. My cerebral palsy has nothing to do with this. Okay? The heart that beats inside my chest is to keep me alive, to keep myself safe, and not do stupid stuff. Like I said at the very beginning of this broadcast, guns do not give you power. Show me a man that resorts to violence, and I'll show you a man that's run out of good ideas. Life is precious. Life is valuable on both ends. People walk around thinking that they're unstoppable because they have something on their side that they can stop somebody else with. Maybe you should stop yourself before you try to stop somebody else because you're doing it for the wrong reason. And again, if somebody is hurting you, if somebody is preventing you from going home and in your personal space and not letting you get out, and you don't have an option, you do what you have to do. But understand that self-defense has to be proven in a court of law. It's not about what you saw on the street and what Shaniqua and Laquiqua saw, and my friend was over there and he came over there trying to mess with me. No, it ain't about all that. You got to prove it. Once this comes out, once that gun is pulled, the situation changes. Use this and this. You'll go far. Okay? Let me answer the question that I asked myself at the beginning of this. Will I carry a gun? Yes. When I have all the information and I'm ready. Do I have other things other than guns carried to do what I need to do? Yes. Am I a fighter? No, but I can when I need to. Am I saying that to brag? No. Am I saying that to kick somebody's ass? No. Am I saying that to scare somebody? No. I am saying, don't not let me go home. Because if you prevent me from trying to go home, you will be hurt. That is not a threat. That is a promise. Okay? People think that people with disabilities are targets. I've been targeted before. Okay? I'm not saying it didn't go well. I'm not saying it went well. All I'm going to say is you would be surprised targeting a person that you don't know. Don't judge a book by its cover. Because if you don't know me, don't judge me. And most of all, don't try to hurt who's with me, because you will pay. Okay? I care about my people, I care about my friends, and I care about my family, and I will do anything for them. But you've got to be smart in the decisions that you make. And I'm going to say this: your mouth can get you in trouble. Sometimes sit back, shut up, and listen before you go into a situation thinking you all that, because you ain't. I don't care if you're 6'2", 280, and got muscles coming out the top of your head. This muscle can get you in trouble. This one usually points you in the right direction. But you want this one to keep beating. That's what you want. This one to keep beating. Remember, guns don't kill people. Because in order for a gun to operate, somebody has to pull the trigger. I hope this made sense. I hope this helped out. I am available to teach self-defense for anybody who wants to learn. I'm going to start doing online classes. I've already talked to several people that want to do it. If anybody wants to get involved, again, I am certified to teach. I am a black belt, and I've been a black belt since 2015. If anybody is interested in self-defense or in martial arts self-defense, let me know. I'll be glad to teach. We can discuss fees and practices and all of that and how it would work. You can email me at mycpdoesnotdefineme@yahoo.com. You can also message me on here. Again, I've got several people that have already asked me about it. I've done seminars which are on Facebook already. I'm looking at possibly doing a seminar with Grandmaster Jack Dart again to get that done. I've wanted to do a seminar for him for a long time, and that may be maybe in the works as well too. But anybody that has a question, feel free to email me, message me up on here. Don't just message me because you want to fight. Don't do that, because the first thing I'm gonna do is dismiss it. I don't train people who just want to fight. I train people for defense only and for protection. That's it. I use self-defense for exactly what it is. I don't train to fight. I train so I don't have to. Okay. Hope this makes a difference to somebody. Hope somebody can get a good message out of this. And again, I don't think that people that carry guns are bad people. I think people that misuse them and mistreat them and think that they're powerful are. Okay. There's a big difference in having a gun and using it properly. Okay. That's where I want to come off with this, and that's what this is about. I do believe that people with disabilities can carry, as I said, as long as you know what you're supposed to know and do what you're supposed to do, because it is a big responsibility, a very big responsibility in your safety and everybody else's. So as I say, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with a roll away. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and we will see you Wednesday for episode 107 of My CP Does Not Define Me. Peace and love, everybody. Take it easy.